Good evening, all of you. I hope all of you have practiced the program what we discussed in the last session. So, can I know how many of you have practiced the program what we discussed in the last class? I asked you to practice other applications like uh, actually we discussed the employee management system project in the last class. How to add an employee, how to update an employee, and how to delete an employee from the table. Anybody practiced any other experiment? What is the error? Can I know what is the error you got? If your database is correct, if your front end, if you're taking all the details in front end, I think you won't get any issue. So anyway, if you have any error, please you can post it in the chat box. What error you are getting? What type of error? Any other students? Have you practiced it or not? Because if you won't practice, you won't get anything. So that is what again I'm telling you. If you are simply listening, means it is not a theoretical subject. Okay, if it's a programming subject, and that too it is already you have core Python knowledge. If you don't practice advanced Python, then again the core Python is actually it's very basics only. So if you want to implement any project, if you want to improve your skills, definitely you need to practice advanced Python. In line number 70 in display all, a row in db.show, db.insert, and value is equals to row attribute error, str and attribute show. What is the db.show? db.show is a function. You have written that function. Directly, you can take some simple form in the front end, and you try to take some table in the database, and simply you connect the table with the database table. It is showing the employee database, but it is not displaying or entering the details. I think it is not in what is that tv dot insert. First, we are giving empty brackets. Empty brackets means you are not inserting any value in that column. Second one end. Next one value is equals to. So you don't take this much of complex syntax. Directly you can take insert values, insert into table name, values, directly you can insert. So anyway, I'll show you some more project in today's session. Okay, after that you can practice this. So this type of projects are useful for your career for placements. So this is the project. Actually, this project is for we are going to see this restaurant projects. So this is actually if you see any restaurant, okay, if you ordered some food, then immediately they are going to give you the bill, right? So this project is generating bill in restaurant system. So how the bill can be generated in restaurant system, I'll explain each and every thing. Okay, so let me run this first so that we can understand what is the this is the uh, this is the project. Okay, so here we are going to have different types of items available in the restaurant. We have different drinks, soft drink items, and as well as different snacks or food. Okay, so for each and every item, already I fixed the price of these items in the program itself. I'll show you what type of prices I fixed in the program. So don't afraid of by seeing this code. It is very simple. Okay. These are the prices already I fixed for each and every item. If you see, these are the prices. Okay, so these are the prices for food item, and these are the prices for drink side. So these are the prices for drinks item, and these are the prices for food item. Okay, so now we'll see some example. So yeah, so these are the prices for drinks and as well as food. So now I'll going to select some items in this menu. Based on the items what I'm going to select, I'm going to generate a bill. For example, I am selecting a lassi, and here you need to mention how many lassi you want. For example, 2 lassi. Next, I'm going to select the roti. So I'm going to click on automatically, that will be enabled, and you can select some 2 roti. So if you see here, the price of the lassi, I already given in the program itself the value 50, right? So 50 rupees. So I took 2 lassi and 2 roti. So roti value also I fixed in the program, that is 5 rupees. So when I click on this total, just tell these 4 are buttons. Total is a button, save is a button, send is a button, exit. Okay, clear. These all are the buttons, and of course these are also buttons. So these buttons are only for doing calculation. If any calculations are going to do, okay, then we can have some simple calculator. This simple calculator also, okay, you can, if you want, you can implement the simple calculator also as one of the project. But in general, if you go to any restaurant, they are going to use simple calculator. So that's why I'm going to use this calculator in the this application itself, so that if the accountant in the okay, in the restaurant or the receptionist want to do some calculation, then he or she can use this calculator. So now I'll click on this total. So now see here, when I click on this total, already all the values are filled. So what is the cost of drinks? Cost of drinks is only I took 2 lassi. So 1 lassi price is 50 rupees, and the cost of drinks is 100 rupees. And what about cost of food? Cost of food is 1 roti. Here I took already 5 rupees. So 2 roti means 2 into 5, 10 rupees. And service charges are 10 rupees. Okay. So tax 8.5, 8.8, subtotal 120. So 120 is total, 110, 110 plus service charge 10. So 120, and your tax you need to pay 8.8, and total cost is 128.8. And for the same, here the bill is going to be generated. If you see here, bill number 787, and with 2 days date, 2023/4/21, and items, and items are lassi 2, amount 100, roti 2, amount 10, service charge 10, tax paid 8.8, and finally this is the total 128.8. So this is the way how we are going to implement. This is very simple application. Even you can do this. For example, if you are having any business like restaurant or hotel, even you can use the same application in your restaurant. You don't need to purchase any software, or you don't need to pay any money for other for purchasing this type of softwares. Even if anyone is having any restaurant or any hotel or anything, directly you can use this project in your computer. Okay, if you want, you can change that rates, as I given some rates like lassi some 50 rupees, coffee 20 rupees, tea 10 rupees, juice 30 rupees, shakes 50 rupees, milk 20 rupees. Okay, so like that, if you want, you can change the price accordingly as per your restaurant or your hotel, and you can use the same. So these type of projects are very helpful, as I mentioned. If you do these type of projects, then definitely you can go for advertising or marketing also, and directly you can say that in interviews also. For example, if somebody asks you what type of project you did, for example, you say like I did restaurant management system. Have you given your project to any restaurant or any hotel? Then this type of real time, have you deployed your project in any hotel or any restaurant? If you say yes, then that is going to be given a lot of weightage, because already you did some project and it is used by some company or some restaurant or some hotel or some institute means. Okay, so then in the real time also, tomorrow if you are working in any company also, same thing. So they want these type of projects. For example, in my uh, 3 months back, actually, one of my student did a project on hospital hospital management system. He did a hospital management system, and we gifted this hospital management system project to one of the hospital in Hyderabad. Okay, so actually initially they thought of uh, they are going to give some amount, because it is done totally by students only. So they thought of they are supposed to use some amount, because they are using in their hospital, still they are using. So the students are said, okay, we don't want any amount, because just we did something, we are going to donate. It's a type of donation, or it's a type of free of cost only we are going to give. So later, once they used, after 1 month, after 2 months, then they are very satisfied and they are given some amount also for the students for their contribution. So that's why these type of activities are very, very important. Tomorrow, in your resume also you can highlight that I did some consultancy. Okay, I did some project for some hospital, I did some project for some hotel, or I did some project for some school, or I did some project for some college. So these all are real time achievements. Okay, if you are doing something, if it is not using anywhere, that is okay, fine. But if you did these type of projects already, if you got some client, if you got some real time client, then that is very valuable. Okay, so if anybody is having any business, hotel or restaurant business, okay, I'll give you this project. If you want, you can use it. Okay, now after generating this bill, I want to save this. If I want to save this, just I'll click on this save button. This button, save button. If I click on save, then it is going to ask me in which location I want to save. Let me select this desktop. And desktop, I can select okay, desktop. I can save it as bill one. So that will be saved. Okay, now if I want to open, I can go to desktop and I can see whether it is saved or not. Okay, so you can see here, this is saved here, bill one. Okay, so this is the bill what just now we saved. Of course, I opened in Notepad, but you open in Word, or if you open in some other software, you will get okay, the good look and feel. If you want, you can include your restaurant name also here. Before bill number, you can include your restaurant name here. For example, in this example here, instead of this restaurant management system, you can write your restaurant name. Okay, and if you want any other details also, you can write. If you want to send also, you can say, you can click on send. So to which phone number you want to send, you can send to that phone number. Okay, send bill through SMS. So to which phone number you want to send? For example, I want to send to my phone. So here same bill, we are going to get here 100 rupees, 10 rupees, 10 rupees plus 8.8, total 128. Send bill. Okay, the bill has been sent to you successfully. Okay, so this is the way how you are going to do these type of projects. The project what we see in previous class is a little bit different than this. In the previous class, what we did, we seen how to create a database for an employee, and how to create a table for employee, and how to add some employee details, joining date, experience. Okay, and finally we did different types of crude operations on employee application, like creating, deleting, updating, and modifying. Okay, so these real-time applications are very important for placements and as well as for your career. If you did this type of projects, then automatically you are going to get the job very easily. If you did this type of projects, then it's very simple. Nothing is there. It's okay. Only the implementation part I'll explain. Every line I'll explain now. But if you see here, so what are the things are there? If you see all these all are text boxes only. If you see here, all these are text boxes only. Okay, and all these are check boxes. If you check this, then only this will be enabled. For example, if you don't check that, then if I'm trying to enter something here, it's not going to allow me to enter something, because if you select something, then only it will be enabled and you can enter some number. For example, if I don't click this mix wedge, if I'm trying to enter something, it is not going to allow me. I'm trying to enter something here, but it is not allowing me to enter something because it is not selected. Okay, if you want to enter something, you need to select this checkbox. Then only this will be enabled and you can enter the number, how many number of items you are choosing, right? So any doubts in this? Functionality, I think you understood the functionality, right? What it is doing. That's why always you try to do these type of projects. Anyone having restaurant or hotel business in this class? If you have really having restaurant or hotel business or any juice business, you can use this project. Directly you can use this, because maybe in your restaurant or in your juice shop, so this is also one of the difficult tasks. So getting bill bill generating is also it's a difficult step. So now with this application, just you can fix all the prices. Already I fixed it as per the cost nowadays. Okay, so I fixed it. If you want, is there any change, you can change that values and directly you can use it. Because I really seen that most of the restaurants are spending lakhs of rupees only for this software. If you see very big restaurants, okay, so they are spending lakhs of rupees for buying this type of software. Okay, so if you sit for some 1 week, if you sit, then easily you can implement this type of softwares. Okay, so they are ready to invest even in lakhs also. In Hyderabad, they are ready to invest in lakhs also. Not only in Hyderabad, even 5-star restaurants, 3-star restaurants, they want everything to be automated. So they don't want to spend more time for generating these type of bills, right? Because if they are taking more time to generate these type of bills, the customer need to be waited. Okay, we are not supposed to uh, give that much of time for the customer, right? So that's why everything should be automated and everything you need to generate. So if I given some input, the number of values, then automatically the bill is going to be getting generated, right? So understood all of you? Any doubts? Functionality part, it means the functionality is, maybe you seen in restaurants. If you are going to any restaurant, then you will get a bill, right? Waiter is going to come up with the bill, or maybe you will ask the bill. So anyone, any doubts? Please respond in the chat box. Okay, always you think about the projects which will be useful for the society. This is very important line, again and repeat. If you are doing something, some project, then you are supposed to think that the project that should be useful for the society. It may be to hospital, or it may be to school, or it may be to college, or it may be to some restaurant, or it may be to some small business. Okay, anything. Yeah, you can do anything. If you want, you can change background color. Okay, customization can be done. If you want, I'll give this project. You can customize it. You can modify it as per your requirement. If you want some more items to be added, you can add some more items. For example, you want to add some more cool drinks. Okay, actually, I didn't took cool drinks. I took only juices, right? If you want to add some cool drinks like a thumbs up, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, and if you want to fix some prices for the cool drinks also, that is also possible. Or if you want to add some other okay, if you want to add some other tiffins, you can add, right? So everything is possible. The only thing is you need to think about the projects which should be. For example, uh, you are uh, you are doing some project, like the project should be useful for some school. For example, in school, actually everything is uh, manual. They are using manual systems. Manual systems means they are using pen and paper. Still, they are using pen and paper. So you are supposed to think that how this is going to be automated. So that automation, you are going to think about this automation. With the help of this software, how can you automate? You are going to think like that. Okay. So now I'll try to explain the source code of this. So as I mentioned, mostly I'm going to use the controls here. What are the controls I'm going to use? I'm going to use the text box, checkbox. So these are the controls I'm going to use. Okay. So these all are the libraries. So here I'm going to define some function. So in that function, I defined all the prices. So let me explain the design part first. So just I'm going to add all the prices. Okay, finally I'll display. Mainly I'll explain this design part. So how we are going to use this tkinter for designing this. Okay, so here if you see here, I'm going to use a send bill. Send bill is it's a button. Okay, we are going to, when you click on send bill, just now I showed you. If I click on send bill, then you are going to get this window. Okay, this window here you will enter phone number, and the bill whatever it's generated, that will be sent here, and you click on send bill. That bill will be sent to the particular phone number. Next, so here in that window, send bill window, we are going to have this design. Okay, so this window we have this design. Okay, so in this window we have this design. So send bill through SMS. This is the button. Next, phone number. It is a text box, and bill details. Automatically, we are getting this bill details from another the main form. Okay, when I click on send bill, okay, after entering a phone number, when I click on the send bill button, it automatically the bill will be sent to the particular phone number. So for that, I need to have you use this SMS. Okay, SMS. This third party tool I'm going to use to send the SMS fast to sms.com. Okay, so this is used for sending a SMS in your Python. Don't disturb if you are not interested. Okay, so that is about the project. First, whenever you are going to implement any project, you must be clear with your requirement, what you are going to implement, and if you want to implement, for example, you want to implement a software for bank, you want to implement some ATM machine, ATM software. So then, what is your requirement? What functionality you are supposed to implement, and for that, what you require. So how many text boxes are required, and what are the functionality you are going to implement. For example, I want to implement some ATM software for a particular bank. Then I need to know what functionality I need to. For example, in your ATM in general, if you use any bank ATM, you'll find common functionalities like balance, mini statement, and if you want to see some last 5 transactions or withdrawal. So these are the common functionality you can find in any ATM software. So you can take all these functionalities, or for example, you want to create an account for a customer in a bank. So you can take some details from that particular customer, and you try to create an account in your particular bank. Okay. So once registration is done, then you can give some login option for that particular user, so that he will log in and he will check his balance, and he will perform other operations like it's like internet banking operations. He can perform some withdrawal, or he can perform some deposit, or he can check his mini statement, or he can check his balance, or he may change his password. So like that, first you must be very clear with the requirement, what you are supposed to implement. Like in our previous example, I showed you how what type of operations can be done by the employee, right? So we can have different types of operations, like uh, adding some new employee, or getting the details of employees, the like retrieve operation, modifying employee details, or you can change any details of employee, and finally can delete employee. Like that, even if you take any banking application, you can add a new customer. For example, a bank means you can have multiple customers will be there, right? So you can create a registration form, so that with the registration form you can create multiple customers. Okay, all the customers should be inserted in a table, and once the customer is created his account, then you can provide him a login form. With that login form, he's going to log in into his account, and he can check his details, or he may modify his details also. If you want to modify any details, then maybe you can use the update command. And if you want to delete a particular customer, for example, you want to withdraw that account from particular bank, then you can use the delete button, right? So like this, you can plan different types of projects. Okay. So maybe you can plan some student management system. You can plan from, okay, if you have any project can be planned. If you want to implement some project for your examination maintenance, you want to maintain all the examinations through software. So that is also possible. You want to conduct some exams through software. Okay, nowadays every college is using, still they are using pen and paper. So offline examining mode only they are conducting exams. But if you will go with some software, okay, where the student is going to log in and he can write his exam, so it's going to reduce the cost of pen and paper, right? So this type of application is also very useful for the society. So if you are doing these type of applications, so then that is also very useful for a college, or for a school. If you are given this type of applications for a particular school, maybe they can use the same application for conducting some examinations in their school. or for practicing different types of examination for their students. They can use your application or they can use your software for practicing different exams in your software, right? So first, you must be clear with the functionality part, and you must be clear with the inputs what you are supposed to have, and you must be clear with the outputs what you are supposed to get. So if everything is clear, then it's not a difficult thing to design the GUI part. Once you design your GUI part, then you must have the database. In the database, you need to have database next to you. You must create some table, and what information you are asking from the user in the front end. With the same fields, you need to create some table in the database. Okay, and you need to implement the functionality with Python program. So that is what we seen in the last class. Okay, so just you can use some Python program, and with that Python program, you can write all these uh, queries. Okay, you can write some create query, insert query for manipulating the data in the table. So that is the way how any project can be implemented in Python. It's not like blindly I'm doing something. Okay, so that will work. It is not like that. You need to follow some systematic approach. So that's why when I started database programming, okay, I told you how you can write some commands, or how can you work with database. What do you mean by database? So whenever you are thinking about any project, tomorrow if you are working in any company also, you may be involved in different projects, and in that projects, your role is very limited. Okay, you don't have access on all the files, on all the databases, and in all the modules. So your role is very limited. So in that role only you are given the permission. For example, your project is let's say having some 600 modules. So you are going to access only 10 modules out of 600. The remaining 590 modules you don't have access. Okay, so in the 10 modules only you are going to access, you can modify the remaining 590 modules. Okay, you are unable to touch it. That's why how we are going to implement, how we are going to work, and what type of modifications you can do, and what type of functionality you are going to write in your module, that is very important. So that is clear if you are very good in understanding the problem, understanding the requirements, and converting the requirements into some technical okay inputs. So if you are in a position to do these things, then creating any project for any type of real time problem is it's a very simple thing. Okay, so any doubts now? Everyone please practice the applications, like some you can do some project on student management system, where you can take some, even you can take your class students data. You can take your class information, and you can store all the class information in a table. You can create some GUI for the same, and you can create a table in the back end. You can store the same information in the table, and later you can perform all the operations like update operation, delete operation, insert operation. All these things you can do it. So if you start with some simple application, even in your class also, you can do lot of applications with your class information. Okay, or you can take some your library information. You can add some books. You can okay, you can retrieve the books. You can update some book. You can issue some book. Okay, so these all are different types of applications, and you are doing all these applications with real time data. The data is your class data, or your college data, or your library data, or your department data. If you are doing something with your real-time data, then that is we can say it's a type of real-time project. If you are doing something with the dummy data, then it is not going to be called as a real-time. So that's why at least you start with some simple idea and you try to design some GUI for that, and you try to implement the database and you connect the database part with the GUI part. So that's it. I think it is not a difficult task, but you need to spend some time. If you want, you can refer the project what I given in last class and the project what I explained in today's class. Just you refer these two, and from this you will get other ideas, and you can implement the other ideas also. So any doubts? If I want to create a project, we entirely enter into it. Yes. Yes. If you want to create a project, entirely enter into it. That is what I showed you. I showed you the projects only. Simple projects I showed you in last class and this class. Because once you are having the knowledge of core Python and advanced Python, especially the database part, you are in a position to do any project. If you go for any industry, or if you go for any anywhere, you can do project only. I don't know what do you mean by A to Z. Okay, just I am trying to explain what are going to be done with some example. Yes, starting and end of project. Yes. Okay. Of course, you may not get the full idea, but in the next coming days, I'll explain some other different projects so that you will get an idea, and I'll clearly write the points, the common points, what you need to follow for any type of project. Okay, it's not like something what you are going to have in our normal programs. These projects are little bit different. I need to follow some levels. Okay, so that hierarchy we'll know once we have discussed some more projects. We'll get an idea what can be done once we go through two more projects. Okay, then you will get an idea what can be done, and after that what we need to do. Okay, you will get an idea, step by step process. If you want to implement your project from the scratch, you want to do some project from the scratch, then what need to be, okay, you need to keep, and what in which way you need to follow that. Okay, that's that step by step procedure. You'll get some more clarity once we have some more projects, right? So any other doubts from other students? But at least you need to complete one small project, at least the project what I given in the last class, employee management system. Like that, you may create a student management. Students, you can take your own class data and you can create some small project, or at least you can do the same project what we have in employee management, or at least this restaurant project also you can implement. You can do some customization, you can do some modifications, and you can try to implement the project like restaurant management. Okay, where you can add some more items in the restaurant, and you can change some prices, and you try to do different things, and you try to check whether it is working or not. If it is not working, then you can ask me the questions in the next class. That is the way how we are going to. It's all you can say it's all trial and error. Okay, just you try something new, and if you get it, okay. If you don't get, then you can ask the same question in the next class. Okay, It's not like something, everything, if you want to do it from the scratch, sometimes it may not be possible. That's why you start with a little bit of modifications for existing one, and you come up with new requirements for the same, and you try to implement that requirements in the existing one. That is the way how we are going to approach. Okay, so if you have any doubts, you can post it in the chat box.